forgot to mention is gluten, which is in every carb pretty much possible. And I know they make like gluten-free stuff, but that shit tastes weird to me. I can still eat chicken. That's good. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be kind of turning into a rabbit. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to turn into a Victoria.
Sophie Cunningham just lit the match that blew up the WNBA offseason. One comment, 20 seconds, and the internet imploded. People are calling her everything from thirsty for attention to flat-out racist. But while the timeline is on fire, here's what no one seems to be asking. And it's the only question that actually matters. Because once you understand what Sophie really said, you'll realize this has almost nothing to do with Angel Reese or Victoria's Secret. This is about something much bigger, the unwritten rules of women's basketball, who's allowed to speak, and what happens when someone decides not to play by those rules anymore. Sophie didn't just stir the pot. She flipped the whole table. But before we unpack her strategy, we need to go back, because AJA Wilson said something that exposed a deeper issue: how much power certain stars have, and how far that protection goes.
The championship celebration for the Las Vegas Aces, we got A'ja Wilson with a whistle, and she said, "The only special whistle I know." Okay, A'ja, you gotta relax. You gotta relax, mama. Y'all barely beat a hospital team in the Indiana Fever. Like, come on. Y'all did win a championship, and you did your thing. You balled out. But bro, you act like people are making this up when they talk about you getting.
Here's the quote that started it all: "The only special whistle I know is me." That's AJA Wilson, champion, MVP frontrunner, absolute superstar, casually brushing off claims she gets favorable calls. And she said it right after playoff series where Aliyah Boston got no love from the refs. Think this is just trash talk? Think again. This is the exact moment the WNBA's biggest credibility issue, biased officiating, became impossible to ignore. And AJA? She didn't deny it. She joked about it. She mocked it. And in doing so, she threw shade at Boston while reinforcing the very problem critics have been shouting about for months. But let's go back to Sophie, because what she said about Angel wasn't just a cheap jab. It was a chess move. And the fact that people picked sides immediately shows how fragile the current state of women's basketball really is.
Mention is gluten, which is in every carb pretty much possible. And I know they make like gluten-free stuff, but that shit tastes weird to me. I can still eat chicken. That's good. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be kind of turning into a rabbit. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to turn into a Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese.
Pay close attention to what happened next, because this is where things got revealing. Angel Reese walks in the Victoria's Secret runway show. That's just a fact. Sophie makes a tongue-in-cheek comment referencing it. Also a fact. But the backlash? That's where it gets complicated. Her comments instantly triggered a racial firestorm. People called her a clout chaser, irrelevant, even accused her of racism. But here's what most people missed. This isn't a new pattern. It happened all season with Caitlin Clark. In the WNBA right now, whenever a white player mentions a high-profile black star, it's treated as an attack. Not because it always is, but because that's the narrative the discourse has been trained to default to. Sophie knows that. She's not new here. She knew exactly what would happen. So ask yourself, why'd she do it anyway?
Okay, Angel Reese walking in the fashion show. Okay, she got her angel wings on. Okay, so this is what Sophie Cunningham is referring to. Like I said, I have no problem with this. Walking the runway, bikini thing, whatever. I don't care. You do your thing. I didn't really feel like this was it.
This is where things get smart. Because Sophie Cunningham isn't just a player anymore. She's building a brand. She's creating content, doing podcasts, and she's 1/3 of Trey's lectures. She's entering the media game, and in that world, attention is currency. And right now, nothing gets more attention in WNBA circles than the names Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So what did Sophie do? She put herself directly in that conversation, without saying anything technically offensive. That's not just controversial. That's calculated. That's someone who understands how the media works. She saw Angel turning fame into endorsements, magazine covers, viral moments, and said, "Cool, now watch me enter the chat." But the moment she did, the conversation shifted to whether she was racist, whether she was jealous, whether white players can even joke about black stars. What no one asked is the more uncomfortable question. Why is Angel Reese walking fashion shows in the off-season, instead of addressing the holes in her game that got exposed in the playoffs? Number 5. Here's the clip that says it all. Angel Reese on the runway. And the take is dead on. Nobody should have a problem with this. She earned that spotlight. She's got the charisma, the platform, the influence. But here's where the double standard hits hard. When Angel does media, it's empowerment. When Caitlin Clark did SNL during the season, people said she was distracted, unfocused, not locked in. And when Sophie brings any of this up, she's called racist. That's the real issue. The rules keep changing based on who's doing what. And everyone's pretending not to notice. The controversy here isn't what Sophie said, it's what she exposed. That in today's WNBA, consistency in criticism doesn't exist. And as for AJA Wilson, her special whistle comment wasn't just dismissive, it was delusional. The stats are real. The bias is real. And in that playoff series, Aliyah Boston wasn't just disrespected, she was set up to fail. But hey, apparently joking about that is fair game. As long as you're one of the chosen ones.